Hello, welcome to Communication 491, Ethical Aspects of Communication. I'm your instructor, Professor Brian Heisterkamp. Some of you may be wondering, why should you take this course? And for many of you, the reason is this is a required course of anyone who's majoring in communication. But there are other reasons why you might want to take this ethics course. And one is that hopefully through the writing projects that we'll do, there's a group writing project and individual writing projects. Your writing skill can be improved through this course. And maybe more importantly, you'll learn about some different ethical perspectives that we'll talk about in this class. So our goal is not to teach you ethics, but to teach you how to apply ethical theories to the ethical standards that you already have. So have all made decisions of consequence in your life, and so this is about understanding how do those decisions relate to the different ethical theories that we'll be talking about throughout the term. Some of the objectives, and you can read this in the syllabus, but this really relates to what I was just talking about, that we're interested in being able to teach you these different ethical perspectives. So we'll talk about virtue ethics, feminist ethics, relational ethics, and how do those relate to the ethical system that you have. And so for your particular ethical values, how does that relate to these different theories that we'll talk about? And how might that be different from someone else in your family, your neighbors, fellow students? And how can you come to reasonable decisions that align with your ethical standards but might be different from someone else's ethical standards? Some of you are hopefully familiar with the department's program objectives, and this is particularly relevant to the senior project course, Communication 499. And so as you have heard in other courses, what you need to do from a practical standpoint is save your syllabus and any graded paper from every course that you're taking in communication studies. And the point of that is for you to show the assignments that you've completed and how those assignments relate to these different program objectives. And so for this particular class, Goal 3 relates to ethical standards and learning to apply ethical standards to your communication behavior. And so you'll be able to take the written assignment or the group assignment or perhaps the individual presentation to use that graded assignment in Communication 499 to show that you've met this particular objective. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. You'll have an opportunity through the visual self-introduction to tell us about you. But just to tell you a little bit about myself, I earned my Bachelor of Science in Management from Arizona State University, my MA in Communication from San Diego State University, and then my PhD also in Communication from Arizona State University. I am originally from the Black Hills of South Dakota, maybe the first person that you have met from the Black Hills. So this is the home of Mount Rushmore and the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, in case any of you are into motorcycling. So I hope that you take some time to look around the Blackboard site, see where the different modules and assignments and quizzes are located so you can become familiar with the course. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. There's a class questions discussion forum that you can use. So we're not in a face-to-face class, so you can't raise your hand to ask a question, but this is the best way to raise your hand in an online class, is to post a question to that class questions discussion forum. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions.